Today we're talking about Avengers. Let's have some fun.
We see someone who needs help, and we help.
Wait a minute, something's not right here. Let me do some zoom in magic to see what's up with this.
So you do what you need to do. We're leaving it.
Now you can clearly see why I love this game. The glitches, the bugs, everything. I got the game 3 days early because I got the one of the special editions, and I got the best glitches I've ever seen, including that one. As you can see, Marvel's Avengers is full of interesting glitches, but that was only one that I've experienced. I don't think I captured all of them on camera, and I am way too lazy to go over like 6 hours of footage that I got for this game. I'm mostly going to use it all for background, just say something to look at instead of my adorable face. But you fuckers better know that I am going to put that avatar in this video, because fuck you, it's my video, and I spent time making that guy. So, without further ado, let's get into this shit show of a recording, and let's talk about Marvel's Avengers. Now, first of all, we're going to talk about Captain America, also known as Steve Rogers, because you can't get more American than a name like that. Steve was born in the 1920s on the Lower East Side of Manhattan to poor Irish immigrant parents, Sarah and Joseph Rogers. His father died when he was a child, and his mother followed in his teens. By the 40s, before World War II, Rogers was a tall and skinny art student, specializing in comic book illustration and art. In fact, in multiple comics, you can see him writing and drawing his own comics. Before he was a super soldier defending the world from Nazis and alien threats, he was just like us comic book nerds. Devastated by the Nazis in Europe, he tried to join the military, but was declined due to his frail body. His resolution attracted the attention from Army General Chester Phillips and Project Rebirth. He is used as the test subject for the American Super Soldier Serum, made by scientist Abraham Erskine? I don't know. I'm gonna go off the MCU version because it's shorter and easier to get through. Cap crashes a Hydra craft into the ice and ends up frozen, only to wake up 50 years later at a SHIELD base. And at that moment, Captain Steve Rogers, a man who was seen as less than everyone, only to become as perfect on the outside as he was on the inside, becomes the first Avenger. Wow, how touching. That is an amazing story right there. But we should move on to someone else. Next up is Miss Marvel. Now, I'm going to throw off my Avengers fan cap and say, I barely knew who Miss Marvel was before recording this video. Miss Marvel, also known as Kamala Khan, she is actually the fourth person to go by the name Miss Marvel. The first was Carol Danvers, who was caught in the explosion with the Kree superhero Captain Marvel. She later takes the name Captain Marvel after Captain America tells her it's what he would have wanted. Then there's Sharon Ventura, who was more like the Thing, who even calls her She-Thing, which she now calls herself by. Then there was Carla Sofin, who doesn't go by the name per se, but is an evil doppelganger of the original Captain Miss Marvel, Carol Danvers. Then we have Kamala, who is the most popular Miss Marvel and the current person holding the mantle. Kamala is a 16-year-old Pakistani American living in Jersey City. She idolizes Captain Marvel, so when she found out she had inhuman genes and had powers of her own, she took the name Miss Marvel, after Captain Marvel you started using that name, and made a costume very similar to hers while still being her own. She was the first Muslim character to get their own Marvel comic, and Kamala shows the world that anyone can be a hero if you have the heart. You don't have to have flashy costumes, billions of dollars to make a high-tech suit, or be a super soldier with a shield. Next up, we have Iron Man, also known as Tony Stark. He was a billionaire playboy who, after getting kidnapped and having shrapnel from one of his own missiles lodged into his chest, and being held captive by terrorists, realizes that his weapons aren't saving the world, but making it worse. After getting away by building the Mark I suit, he goes back home and ends the Stark Industries weapons division, and he creates the Iron Man armor. He doesn't see this as a weapon, instead as a way to protect the world. That's all he wants to do anymore. Protect the world. Tony has a story. He's not just a man with armor. He is a man who wants to save the world. He wants to change his life from being all about him to about being about every other person besides him. He has made the hardest sacrifices, ending his own life to save millions. Tony's stories show us that he does have a heart. While it might be protected by his inventions, it's there, and he's willing to sacrifice everything for anyone. His stories are ones of selflessness and sacrifice. And that's all the ones I care about. So if you want to look at the rest, fuck you. I don't care. Go ahead. Look at the rest. I don't really give a shit. I'll probably just write them down because I don't want to record them. I don't really care. Black Widow, I don't really have interest in that character. Thor, well, Thor is just Thor from Norse mythology, just adapted to Marvel. And Hulk, it's pretty easy. It's just he was hit with gamma rays and then turned into big green guy. Although I do have something interesting to say about Hulk that I, found out or thought of when I was playing the game. I don't know if this is already confirmed in the comics or not, but I did think of this. It was, fuck you, I'm not looking at that notification. That Hulk is Banner's body's natural response. So it's his fight or flight response. One Banner, it's through his adrenaline. When Banner, tries killing himself, his body realizes what he's doing and activates the Hulk in order to save Banner's life. And basically, you can see this in multiple instances where Banner talks about how he tried killing himself, like in the movie when he said he tried shooting himself and Hulk just spit out the bullet. That was his body saying, hey, I don't want to die. Next up, I have a rundown of all 19 missions. That's going to be a lot of fun to say, record, and do multiple takes of, because I can't fucking speak. First mission is I Want to Be Avenger. You play as a young Kamala at the Avengers helicarrier collecting comics. Mission 2 is The Light That Failed. This mission is your first experience with combat. You fight your way through the Golden Gate Bridge to fight Taskmaster. Number 3, New Normal. The first time you're playing as Kamala with her powers. You have to get out of Jersey while being chased by AIM. Number 4, The Road Back. Kamala tries to find the Resistance and finds herself at the old helicarrier. In this mission, you meet Hulk and have to run away from him. Number 5, To Find Olympia. This mission is Hulk specific. Throughout the majority, you play as him, and to finish mission, you must fight Abomination. Mission 6, Missing Links. This is the first of many vaults throughout the game. Number 7, House Call. The mission, you find Tony, and you have to take down AIM troops with a homemade Iron Man suit. Number 8, Armor Chase. First time flying as Tony, you must break into AIM's stronghold. Number 9, Lone Against AIM. AIM is attempting to create one of Tony's arc reactors and you have to blow it up. Number 10, the Dog of War. In this mission, you meet the Watchdogs, an anti-super organization. Number 11, Breakout. Nothing to really talk about here. Shoot, shoot, gun, punch. Number 12, The Standalone. Kamala tries to break into an AIM base to free the captured humans. She gets captured, and Black Widow has to blow her cover to free her. Number 13, Once an Avenger. AIM attacks a helicarrier full of Inhumans. You play as every character unlocked at this point, plus Thor. He decides to come back to the Avengers. Number 4, Agony at the Anthill. This is one where you're introduced to the new boss, the Warbot. You fight this one a few times throughout the campaign. Number 15, Rocket Man. Tony has to go into space to break into an AIM satellite, only to find Captain America somehow alive after A-Day. Number 16, Stark Outfits. This mission, you're just doing side missions, gathering materials to build up Stark tech suits. Number 17, Final Preparations. Captain America has to talk to Black Widow. Number 18, Mayhem over Manhattan. AIM has taken to Manhattan and set a new enemy, the Warship. They use the Warship to try and capture the Inhumans. Number 19, By Force of Mind. Holy fuck, this is the best fight I've ever watched. The final boss of the game, you play as every Avenger in the game, showing a change in abilities and skill from the beginning of the story to how you become strong enough to defeat MODOK. To add on to this, there is a level cap at 50, and each level comes with a new skill point, which means there are over 50 skills you can learn that increases your character's abilities and unlocks new abilities for them to use. So if you max out all your characters for this final mission, you can see a significant increase in power from the beginning of the game. Also, Square Enix developed this game, and well, you can see in the world that they put a lot of effort into this. It's very Destiny-like in how they built the world. Each mission has a big space that you can go into, and that space has a lot of side objectives that you can do. They built an amazing, beautiful world for this game, and I am truly happy that they made this, and I cannot wait for the eventual sequel. Well, that's all for this one because I am fucking tired of this video. I don't really like making videos longer than 10 minutes because that's a lot of editing. And, eventually I start running out of ideas the longer I work on one project. One that I am excited to do is Spider-Man. It came out 2 years ago, but, it's one of my favorite games to the point where I play it at least 3 times a week. And I've 100%ed it. I've beaten the game over 14 times on the hardest difficulty possible, and I've done everything I can do on the game, and there's so much I can talk about. I have so many amazing ideas I can do to make the game at least somewhat funny. So if you enjoyed watching this video, I hope you drop a like, and then maybe subscribe for something eventually better than what I'm making right now.